Stand still. Don't panic. You're about to travel back to Egypt. Specifically, to the exact day I died. Yeah, not my favorite day either. But trust me, it makes one hell of a story. I'm Tutankhamun. By the way, King of Egypt, part-time icon, full-time victim of very dramatic historians. Ready to see what really happened? Great. Just don't touch anything, especially the jars. Let's start with the basics. I was born Tutankhamun. Yeah, not back then, my family was obsessed with the sun god. Oughtn't imagine being named after your dad's new political religious hobby. Was born into royalty, which sounds cool until you realize royalty in ancient Egypt came with more family drama than modern reality TV. Everyone was related to everyone. And I mean everyone? Let's just say my family tree looked more like a family circle. I became pharaoh at 9 years old. Yes, 9? While other kids were learning to write their names, I was learning how not to break Egypt. Spoiler, I kinda did okay, but only because the grown-ups ran everything anyway. So what does a 9-year-old pharaoh actually do? Well, I sat on a giant throne that was way too big for my tiny legs. I waved at people. A lot. And priests told me what to say. Basically, king by title, child by reality. But my biggest achievement, I changed my name. Yep, official royal decree. I no longer serve Aton. Bring back the old gods. Boom. Tutankhamun, instant rebrand. I was basically the Beyoncé of the 18th dynasty. I also married Ankhesenamun, my half-sister. Yes, but in Egypt, that was called tradition, not therapy material. She was smart, charming, and older than me. So honestly, she probably ruled Egypt more than I did. People think I was some legendary pharaoh. Truth? I was mostly fixing the chaos my father left behind. He kind of broke Egypt. Collapsed temples! Angry priests! Starving people! You know, the usual Light family legacy. So I rebuilt temples, reopened the old cults, restored artwork, made the gods happy again, and guess what? Everyone loved me for it. Which is funny, because they were basically celebrating a teenager who was still learning how to shave. And of course, I did royal things. Had the latest jewelry, rode in fancy chariots, posed for statues where my head was way bigger than my real one. Ancient Photoshop was wild. Now for everyone's favorite part. How did Tutankhamun die? Was it murder? Was it a curse? Was it some palace conspiracy? No. Probably I just fell. Or got an infection. Or my bones finally gave up. Royal inbreeding hits hard. One theory says I crashed my chariot. Another says a mosquito bit me. Another says my leg broke and got infected. Honestly, pick whichever you like. I wasn't exactly in top athletic condition. Anyway, I died. And then, oh boy, they wrapped me like a luxury burrito. Gold mask, resin everywhere, 143 amulets stuffed between layers, basically spiritual bubble wrap. I must have smelled like incense and regret. My tomb, super tiny. Like, embarrassingly tiny for a pharaoh. It was built in a rush. Egypt wasn't ready for me to die that early. Flash forward 3,245 years! 1,922. A guy named Howard Carter breaks into my house. He opens the door. He sees wonderful things. I see. Bro. Shoes off. This is sacred territory. But whatever. Fame time. They carried me out, unwrapped me like a Christmas present, poked every bone I had, and suddenly I was the most famous mummy on the planet. Today I'm chilling in the Grand Egyptian Museum in Giza. Climate control, security, VIP treatment. Honestly, this is the most peaceful my afterlife has ever been. So yeah, that's me. Tutankhamun, teenage king, accidental icon, unwilling celebrity. If you survived this whole story, you should probably hit subscribe. You know, before another archaeologist tries to dig me up,